mass through a distance.
Could you like repeat the last 5 things that you said?
Sure. So first I will fumble around putting that in. Okay. So the ways that we can measure energy would be units of the joule or the calorie. I need better pens. Joule or calorie. So a joule,
Yeah, I can't see that.
maybe you didn't do broken down units, maybe just physics does that.
I can't see it.
So we won't worry about that. So you could have a joule or you could have a calorie. So a joule is, anyone know the conversion factor between joules and calories? Micah?
Yes, 4.184 joules will equal 1 calorie.
Okay, so 1 calorie is 4.184 joules. So calories are something you're kind of familiar with because that's how we measure food energy. But in chemistry, is the chemistry calorie the same as the calorie on your food labels?
No.
So what is a food calorie compared to a chemistry calorie?
1 food calorie is 1,000 chemistry calories.
Okay, so food calories are kilocalories. That's something you should know. Food calories are kilocalories. Nobody wants to write that your candy bar is 230,000 calories. That just scares people. But it is essentially, if it says 230 calories, it really is 230,000 calories, which makes that food so much more unattractive to people that they won't eat it. So they just assume kilocalories on the label and call it calories. But a chemistry calorie is really 1,000. Am I saying that right? Eek. A food calorie is 1,000 chemistry calories. Food calories are kilocalories. So the only other little tidbits you need to know before we do the lab are that there are also conversion factors between our temperature scales because we're talking about heat, and one way that we can check on where heat is coming and going is using temperature. So here in America we're used to Fahrenheit. How else can we measure temperature?
Celsius.
And Kelvin.
Okay, so degrees Fahrenheit, degrees Celsius, and Kelvin doesn't get degrees, it's just Kelvin. Kelvin is the absolute temperature scale, and I'll tell you more about that in then module 11, why we need Kelvin, how we figured out how to set the Kelvin scale. So there is some on the test conversion between Celsius and Fahrenheit. They use degrees Celsius is 5/9 Fahrenheit minus 32 plus 32 plus, no, minus. So you need to memorize this equation. It works either way though. If you have Fahrenheit and you need Celsius, you plug in there. If it gives you Celsius and you need Fahrenheit, plug in there, and we'll do a couple of those problems here in a bit. To convert from Celsius to Kelvin, you just have to add 273.15. So Kelvin is degrees Celsius plus 273.15. I'll explain that in module 11, how we even got such a strange number. That's actually experimentally derived number. It's not like a mathematically calculated number. And if you have to convert from Fahrenheit to Kelvin, you literally have to go through Fahrenheit to Celsius, Celsius to Kelvin. So just make sure that you have memorized this. Then, when we talk about temperature, sometimes you'll see this triangle T. That means delta. This is the Greek letter delta. Delta T means change in temperature. Anytime you see a delta in a math problem, it means changing. So we'll, let's say we start something here. What temperature would that ice water be? Hopefully.
0 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so if we start at 0 degrees Celsius with that ice, and then we heat it up to 52.5 degrees Celsius, what is our delta T?
52.5 degrees.
Yes, and even with significant figures, if it's really ice, it should actually be kind of a large number of significant figures. So our delta T would be 52.5. What if we took that 52.5 degree water and we froze it? We brought it down to the freezing point. Then what would our delta T be?
52.5 degrees Celsius.
Okay, but when we're, negative 52.5, and that negative sign is gonna be very important, so make sure that you hold your negative signs in high respect. Must keep your negative signs very carefully. So we're gonna have a tiny quiz, which does not actually affect your grade in any way. It just is a way to kind of check and see if you have understood or what you really need to think about and study. So work individually for like 3 minutes, and then work with a partner for like 3 minutes, and then we'll check. So what has more energy? One joule or 1 calorie? Let's see. Convert 298 Kelvin to degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius. You want to do Celsius first, of course. And here. Find delta T with and I'll put a decimal point there so you keep 2 significant figures. Maybe I'll put a 2 here too. So take a couple minutes to do that. And let's see. I have a lab sheet for you. Is that filming?
That's probably